Hello, I'm Sharon Albert, Director of the Mission Trails Regional Occupational Program. The program you're about to see is a production of the Mission Trails Digital Media Network. This production features local students engaged in the California State Career Technical Education Pathway, Arts, Media, and Entertainment. A special thanks to the Media Center for Art, Education, and Technology, a department of the Monterey County Office of Education, for making this broadcast possible. Thank you for watching. Now let's enjoy the show.
Hi, we're in the Millennium News team. I'm Art Tiongson.
I'm Angus Johnson. Welcome to Phoenix News. Let's see what our team had prepared for us today.
We have an April Fool's package created by Haley Gomez.
My name is Haley Gomez, and I'm here to teach you about the history of April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day is the one day out of the year where you have a reason to prank your friends and family. Lots of people plan their tricks very precisely. Many look forward to this day, but not a lot know how it started. While there isn't a clear explanation on how April Fool's Day came to be, if you look up the definition of April Fool's Day on Google, it'll say that the origin is unknown. However, I have looked almost all over the internet to tell you guys the most legit story on how April Fool's Day came to be. In 1582, France changed their calendar to the calendar we have today, the Gregorian calendar. The Julian calendar is the one they had before, and it had New Year's on April 1st. So New Year's Eve was celebrated on March 31st, then began a new year on April 1st. They changed calendars because the Julian calendar wasn't accurate with dates. New Year's then switched to January 1st because of the Gregorian calendar. Back then, they didn't have phones, social media, internet, or anything, so they couldn't inform everyone about the switch. The people who didn't know still celebrated on April 1st. The people who did know about the switch would prank the people who didn't know. April Fool's Day is now a holiday that is celebrated all over the world. Many people look forward to April 1st so they have a reason to prank their friends and family. A lot of businesses get in on this holiday to market their business. April Fool's Day has become a necessary holiday, however, pranking your friends and family is fun, so let's keep it a while longer.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun video. Now we have a package about the holiday Easter made by Francisco Villafana, or better known as Pancho.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very fine, very fine.
So we're just going to talk a little bit about Easter, is that okay?
That's great.
So just give us a deep rundown of Easter. How did it start?
Okay. Well, the celebration of Easter goes back to the very end of the life of Jesus, who was crucified, died and was buried, then rose again on the third day. And so there's a series of historical events that happened at a particular time that then are celebrated every year. The time of year that we celebrate it is based off of the celebration of the Jewish Passover. Jesus himself was a Jew, and so the events of the very end of his life took place in the context of these Jewish feasts. And so there's a particular time of year that we celebrate Easter to remember the resurrection of Jesus on Easter Sunday, and then the great events that preceded that through his passion, his suffering, and his death.
So does Ash Wednesday correlate with Easter?
Yes. So there is a season in preparation for the celebration of Easter we call Lent. It's a season, meaning it's 40 days, which is, it's actually approximately 50 days. little bit less, a little bit more than 40. It's not an exact number, 40. But it begins on Ash Wednesday. And Ash Wednesday, we always have this Wednesday, which is a certain number of weeks before Easter Sunday, so it's always on a Sunday. And this time of Lent is a time of preparation through prayer and fasting and almsgiving, these great practices of Lent. And the great kickoff, the opening day for this season of preparation for Easter is Ash Wednesday. And this year it fell on March 1st, so we just had it this past Wednesday, a couple days ago.
So Easter is celebrated when?
Well, in the Church of the West, the Eastern Orthodox have a slightly different calendar. If you really want to know exactly when it's celebrated, Easter Sunday is the first Sunday after the first full moon after the winter solstice. So it is not a fixed date. It moves every year, depending on both what day of the week the winter solstice falls on, or the first full moon after that. It can move depending on one of those two, what do they call them? One's a solar and one's a lunar event. These celestial events, when they happen, that sets the timing for Easter. It's can be as early as March 21st could be the winter solstice. March 22nd could be the first full moon, and March 23rd could be the first Sunday. So it could be that early, or it could be as early, or as late rather, as a full month and a week after the winter solstice. So all the way into almost May. It really could be. It really varies each year on the exact date of Easter, because it's fixed not on a specific calendar date, but on these celestial events of the winter solstice and the first full moon afterwards.
Why do we continue celebrating Easter?
Well, we continue celebrating Easter in part because we celebrate many historical events, times that changed history. And as Christians, we believe that the event of Easter, the rising of Jesus from the dead, is the most important event in all of history. And so just as we might reflect today about life before and after 9/11, how the world is completely different, well, so much more is the world now different after the resurrection of Jesus. So that's part of it, is a sense of understanding history. The other part of it is that we draw close to God spiritually through living in Jesus, by living in union with Him and His life. And part of how we do that is through celebrating liturgically, that is in the Mass, and through our prayer, these different moments of His life. So we don't recreate them as in we put on a play, but we celebrate them in prayer so that we can draw close to Jesus as He suffers, as He dies, as He rises from the dead, that we can draw close not just in our memories, but also spiritually in our hearts. We can draw close to these most important moments of all of history, so that they have an effect, a living effect in our life today, which is far greater than any mere memory of a historical event could possibly have. That's why we use the term celebrate. We celebrate these mysteries because it's not just a memory, but something that becomes alive in the hearts of believers today.
For our last question, how do you celebrate Easter?
Well, I celebrate Easter as a priest. There are many great liturgical celebrations, things at Mass. We have, of course, the Easter Vigil, which is a great celebration in which there are many beautiful rites, the lighting of the Paschal candle, the chanting of the great hymn of the Easter proclamation called the Exultet. And then we celebrate with the baptism of new Christians who wish to be baptized. And that's also a time in which those Lenten practices of prayer and fasting, of almsgiving, that's the time when they've served their purpose, and now it's not a time for penance and self-denial as it is much of celebration and joy. So I always enjoy a nice meal, time with friends, maybe a little bit of time off to kind of rest and relax. Certain things, I think having a good drink after the Easter Vigil, maybe a nice beer or a glass of wine to kind of just be really festive, has been a great ways that I've celebrated Easter in the past. It's actually something that's not just to be celebrated on Easter Sunday. We celebrate Easter for 50 days. It's not just Easter Sunday, but every day for 50 days afterwards is part of a whole season of Easter. So we're wearing festive vestments at Mass. We're singing festive hymns, and the church is decorated in a special way with more flowers and more celebratory decorations. In order to continue that celebration for 50 days, the celebration of Easter actually concludes 50 days after with the celebration of the Feast of Pentecost. So those are many ways to celebrate Easter. You can imagine it kind of changes through the course of 50 days. But I can't eat a big meal every day for 50 days. But it does have its high moments. And time to get together with family or friends is a special treat as well.
So one last question. Mm-hmm. You said you decorate the church more. Is there a specific color that you guys choose?
Yeah, it's a very good question. We have different colors for different liturgical times. Right now we're in Lent, and so the church is decorated with purple or violet, and that represents the color of penance and preparation. It's a more somber color, darker, and so it has that note of more seriousness. The color that we use in the Catholic Church for celebration is white, or even gold, to be a very solemn and very celebratory color. So the church right now, in terms of other decorations, has no flowers in it. They're not allowed to have flowers. It's as part of our Lenten decorations. But come Easter time, the church blossoms white and with beautiful flowers. Oftentimes the white Easter lilies match well with those decorations. And that gives it a sense of brightness and new life, a way of representing the resurrection of Jesus through the use of color and other decorations.
All right, thank you, Father.
Thank you very much. Okay.
We now have a featured package about the Central Coast Pop Expo by our cast member, Dylan Holmes. He and one of our crews went out to the event and brought this to us.
How long has this been going on?
For this event itself is its first year, but I'm also the creator and founder of Salinas Valley Comic Con. So we started that off 3 years ago. I left that one to start this one. So first year for this one, but third year in doing conventions.
About like what this is about and the content?
Yeah, so Central Coast Pop Expo is a celebration of all of pop culture. So most conventions, sometimes people think they're only comic books, so we want to show that it's a little bit of everything, so we've tried to incorporate a little bit of everything as far as pop culture goes. So comics, movies, television show, some great artists, theme parks, and some great discussions as well.
This will happen again next year?
Well, I mean, we hope so. We hope that this becomes an annual event with other programming taking place throughout the year as well.
Favorite part, like the thing you're most interested in?
Well, honestly, for me, well, there's a couple things. My favorite part, because I'm a nerd, is the 501st guys all in costume. I always nerd out when I see that. But for me, the biggest thing is I just want people I like seeing people have a good time when they're coming in.
And is there anything you'd like to say to anyone watching this that might be interested in it?
Well, I mean, if anybody hasn't come to it, we hope that you'll check us out on Facebook at Central Coast Pop Expo. You can follow us on Instagram as well to see how the event went, and hopefully they'll join us next year.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So what are you dressed up as today?
I am an AT-AT driver, 500 First Legion.
Ooh, nice, nice. You're a big Star Wars fan?
I'm actually an AT-AT driver.
Yeah. So what have you checked out today here at the Comic-Con?
There's just walking around, I just got here, parked my AT-AT outside. It's cool, Kit from Knight Rider over there. But like most servants of the Empire, it's hard to see in these things.
That's true. So you and Stormtroopers, are you guys friends or not?
Well, they ride in my AT-AT, but the true kings of the battlefield are the AT-AT drivers.
Oh, look, there's one right there. How about you and this guy?
That's a Mandalorian mercenary.
Best pilot in the fleet.
Well, thank you for being here.
And who are you?
I'm Deadpool.
And can you tell me a little about like what this expo is?
Oh, it's like so fans alike get together, chat it up about, the good old nerdy geeky stuff that we all love these days. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you get to meet like the hometown artists and everything, and awesome comics and everything, and pop culture in general. Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been doing this?
I'd say I'm gonna hit about 9 years. So like I'll go like local ones. I've been to the Comic Con a few times, Sacramento, most of the California ones.
And did you make this yourself?
Actually, I just found a whole bunch of different pieces on the internet. Like anything from like eBay, Etsy, whatever. Like just slapped it together more or less. But.
And do you do other like different types of costumes, or is this the one character?
Oh, no, I've cosplayed as Punisher, what is it? Captain America, working on some Star Wars ones, like Vader, Chirrut from Rogue One.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we have part 2 of the capstone projects that were created last year by our graduated senior class.
This is a Millennium Charter High School presentation.
Jesus Christ, man, do you ever sleep?
Mr. Redmond.
It's Rabine, and no, anyways, I was talking to myself in the shower, and I think I thought up the perfect plan to make sure everyone's on track.
I wish I had a shower.
A hit list.
A hit list? Sir, I didn't know I'd be doing this, but I did sign over my loyalty to you.
You didn't sign anything over to me. I found you on the street.
You practically adopted me, sir.
Anyways, the idea is that we put a bunch of names on a list, and it scares them, but we help them at the same time.
What do you mean?
What I'm saying is that we go through each person on the list, and then we have a special one-on-one meeting with them to see where they are.
Does that really require a hit list, sir?
No, I just like being vague. Anyways, get a shirt on. We'll talk about this later.
Oh, my guy's gonna kill us.
Why is it so vague?
Look, it's not in any particular order.
I doubt I'm going first. I'm at the bottom of the list.
Jay, Mr. Rabine will see you now.
It has come to my attention that you are no longer pursuing a career in acting.
Yep, although I always thought I was a good actor.
Great actor.
Okay, well, I feel like sculpting is just part of my life now.
Okay, why don't you show us what you got?
But this one's my favorite.
What is that?
It's a turtle, don't you see it?
That's supposed to be a turtle?
Art is subjective, sir.
Well, we'll discuss this on a further date, but for now, why don't you just leave this here, and me and Matthew will analyze it, and you can just go on ahead, and we'll talk about it later, yeah?
Okay.
All right. You know, man, to be honest, that really sucked. That was bad.
Maybe it's an abstract piece?
No, that's not abstract. That's just bad artistic vision. You know, and honestly, it kind of ashames me that this is even at our school. It's horrible.
It's a shame he dropped the acting stuff.
This is amazing. Wow, this is some really incredible stuff here. And the fact that it's on a used napkin, there's clearly something more to this. Am I right?
Yeah. Everything I touch turns into gold. What does it take to get kicked out of this place? Do I have to throw a wheelchair or something? To make it a long story short, they took my wheelchair antics as modern art. Did you show the clip? Okay, good.
Hey, Josh.
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Okay, rude.
I know that I let you down. Is it too late to say sorry now?
My feelings are spared. Now, we called you in today because we know that you're one of our better singers, and we would love to hear another demo from you.
Stop! Wait a minute. I'm a fraud!
Okay, Noah, where exactly are we on our project?
I'm kind of at lack for inspiration, you know?
All right, I want you to do something for me. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Now I want you to clear your mind and think of nothing.
Okay.
What are you thinking of?
Nothing.
Okay, good. That means it's working, all right? Now I want you to start fresh, start new. Buy a car, buy a boat, go on a trip, break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend, I don't judge. And yeah, just start new.
You want me to break up with my girlfriend?
Yes, she's mean. She cheated on you. She stole my lunchbox in the 3rd grade, you know, the one with the Care Bears on it. And she's overall very masculine.
That's oddly specific, but I'll do it.
Good. I don't judge. Matt, come take a look at this. It's really good.
Wow. That almost made me smile.
Now this is great and all, but my question is what exactly does your painting mean? Like what does this mean?
What does it mean? What does it mean? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, it's clear that you're having some problems with inspiration, which that's perfectly fine. We all do. And you're lucky because I just sent off Noah, and he's looking for his own inspiration. He's starting new. And why don't you just go and collaborate with him? Maybe you guys can come up with some fresh ideas.
All right.
Yeah? All right. So you just take that painting, and we'll discuss more about this tomorrow, and we'll see where you're coming from, okay?
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, so
Havlin Graham, director, producer, and I'm not homeless. This is my screenplay, Harry Potter Erotica.
Well, this is quite impressive, Havlin.
Thank you very much. I'll have Matthew put it with some of my other things. Can you go do that for me? Thank you.
Hey, since we're both poets, why don't we share? I work in the closet. Do you want to come see?
Sure.
Okay, let's go.
This is a really nice setup you got here.
Wow, your work is bad.
Really? Thank you!
This is amazing.
Damn it!
Huh. Nice painting. You know, it reminds me a lot of The Persistence of Time by Salvador Dali. You know, it's like a real surrealist piece of art with a lot of melted clocks, and it symbolizes the dreamlike realm of the beyond and the decaying of life and time as we know it. Also makes me think of my cat.
I feel nothing. I still can't find meaning to my painting. I can walk.
Hey, Matt, I think I got an idea.
What's up?
What if we had a contest so that the student who finishes their project first gets a prize?
That's a great idea, but you will have to come up with a prize for it.
Disneyland tickets?
Not in the budget. SeaWorld?
Have you seen that documentary?
I took my niece there like last week.
You're a monster.
What about the air show?
Okay, let's be honest. The air show, you go there, you watch 1 or 2 planes take off, you walk around like one time, and then you got nothing left to do.
We now have a project about Passover, a Jewish holiday, a presentation created by us, Angus and I. Passover is a Jewish holiday that serves as a celebration for the liberation of Jews from Egypt and their independence as a nation. In the biblical tale, Moses leads the Jews out of Egypt and across the desert, ultimately to their freedom in what would become known as the Exodus. On the first night of Passover, it is tradition to have a festive meal known as the Seder, where the story of Exodus is told from a text called the Haggadah. The story is separated into 15 parts, and after each part, the family partakes in part of the meal. At the end of the meal, songs are sung and prayers are had to thank God for His kindness and mercy. The rest of Passover is a festive time with many more activities throughout. On the 7th day, the last day of Passover, Jews celebrate the crossing of the Red Sea by the children of Israel, and the miracles of the splitting of the Red Sea and the drowning of the pursuing Egyptian soldiers. This year, Passover falls between April 10th and April 17th. From the Millennium News team, happy Passover. Thanks for watching Millennium Phoenix News.
We hope you enjoyed our episode, and we'll see you next time.